Hey guys, thanks for coming. I'm not sure how many's going to show up today. I wasn't sure with the getting this close to Christmas. It was either going to be one extreme or the other. Everybody's going to be bored and want to hang out, or everybody's going to be like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to hang out. Hey, we'll spend time with family. But it'll be a crapshoot. And I think John's still doing his live, so we'll see. Hey Ranks. Hey Jason. Thanks for coming. Harold, I'll have a look at that later. I got tied up all day trying to get get shit cleaned up before my son comes home for Christmas. So I barely got out here to get this ready to do today. So, oh, John just finished up. Okay, it looked like he was having a good rip on a buggy when I just looked in a minute ago. So, well, I'm sure you guys seen the picture of this on the thumbnail. Uh, we'll give it a few minutes just for people to kind of pile in here, and then we'll go through it. This is my newest acquisition member to the family, I guess, to my Nitro family. Hope everybody's having a good holiday. I'm not sure if everybody's off for the remainder of the season, but I got to work a couple days. I got to work Monday, Tuesday, and then I'm off till after Christmas. So, hey, Compass. Might as well take the rags off this. I put the rags on it not so much for the show, but as I was cleaning the garage, everything was really dusty. So I came out to the shop here the other night, and I picked this up last week. A friend of mine picked it up for me in Calgary. I saw the ad for sale, and he lives in Calgary, and I asked him to go pick it up for me. But it was a complete basket case. All it was a roller. It was missing everything, and it was just a hot mess. And it's actually got a funny story to it that I'll let everybody in on, because it's kind of one of those funny stories that you don't really think of as you're wrenching on stuff. But the front tires are a little bit jacked up, but they're not too bad. I'm going to finish these off before I did swap the rears, because for some reason or other there was a big chunk of foam on the inside of the tire. You could feel where it was completely missing. So that was a little bit messed up. I don't know why that is, but so yeah, like I said the other day, I was out here probably far too long, wrenching on this thing. Tore it right down to the chassis, because the chassis actually was warped. It was bananaed, chocoed, bananaed, whatever you want to call it. But it was like this, and the engine wouldn't even sit square in it. It was actually bent like that. So I took the whole thing out, and took the engine out, and well, there was no engine in it. Took everything off, center diff, all the driveline, all the radio trays, everything else, and then took the front and rears off, and then put it in the vise, and had to build a jig to actually physically straighten it out, because it was that taco. So it's actually a Hobeo Hyper 8. This is actually a body that I had. Something fell. I don't know what the hell that was. But yeah, this is a body I had for my other two Hyper 8s, because it didn't come with a body. Um, now this one, like I said, it was a mess. It was filthy, 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 and it was just a disaster. Like I picked it up and I was like, what was I thinking? But I got it cheap, and I can't pass up a cheap nitro. Kind of like Compass that way. I ended up picking it up for $100, as it was, because the Hyper 8s are actually fairly rare. They're not that common that you stumble across them. So I was like, didn't really need it. I didn't really need another Hyper 8, but I really like the Hyper 8s. Anybody that has a chance to grab one, I do recommend grabbing one. Hey Joey, thanks for coming, buddy. Yeah, so like I said, the Hyper 8s, they're a very stout, well-built buggy. And the funny part is, so as I was building this, it had a purple rear tower on it, which was not right. So I'm like, that looks like a Hyper 7 tower. So anyway, so I go to get it all built, kind of, but it had a front and rear tower on it. I get it all built. I go to put the thick body on it, and as I'm putting the body on it, the body sits all screwy, and the front tower was like way up here. And I'm like, that's weird. And I said, what the hell? And I knew I needed to buy a rear tower for it, or I thought I did. And then I started looking, and the rear tower is on the front, and the front tower was missing, and it had a Hyper 7 rear tower on it. And I happened to have a spare front tower. So I swapped out the front tower, and I got it all back together with the rear tower and everything else. And it was just it was just, like I said, it was an absolute dog's breakfast. And then there was wood screws in it, and that I had to take out and do everything over. Hey John, thanks for coming. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it or not. I know you were still ripping her till a few minutes ago, so. And I figured you'd be driving to come home now, so. But yeah, so anyway, long story short, it was a complete train wreck to put together. It was missing so many bits and pieces, and it was just an absolute train wreck. But anyway, this is a Serial 21 AB, how do you say that? AAN sleeve engine, which is fairly rare with the all aluminum sleeve engine. So it's a little bit scary to actually fire it up. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes with it. It could be awesome. It could suck. So we'll see how it goes. Hey Brett, thanks for coming. I haven't seen you in one of these for a while. But yeah, so like I said, this is a Hyper 8 for those of you that just came. I picked it up as a roller. It was a complete basket case. I put it all back together, and it had multiple missing screws and multiple wrong screws in everything. But you can see the Hyper 8s come stock with all the carbon fiber top plates, and everything's really nicely heavy duty in the Hyper 8s. I do recommend them. The only reason I knew that they were Hyper 8s is because they actually come laser etched in the chassis, Hyper 8 on them. And I did go onto the Hoveo website. I ordered there's one bulkhead connector up here that's a little bit cracked, not in the best of shape, so I ordered a new one of those. And I ordered new strut towers because I thought that I needed new strut towers, but now I have some spares. And then I ordered a body for it. So all told, I think it was under $100 worth of bits and pieces. So kind of right there, Rinks. Yeah. Savage. Poof. But yeah, so like I said, this is actually a hot body pipe, and just one I had, and then like I said, this is a Serial 21. So I haven't fired this engine. I did pull it apart on one of my previous lives. So those of you that were on that live, you've seen me pull this engine apart. So we'll see what it runs like. And it's a funny story is this engine actually came from the guy that I got this buggy from. So it was like, the guy is a bit of a hot mess. Like, I'm not gonna lie, his shit was scattered everywhere, and then they were moving. So they managed to find the buggy, and then he sold me the buggy. But like I said, it was a train wreck. Yeah, exactly. The Compass, it was a complete rebuild basically. But fortunately, like things like the diffs were in good shape. The center diff was in good shape. Empty. They were empty, obviously, but they were in decent shape. So it was nice to at least that part, because that stuff is like fucking hen's teeth to find. So, and like I said, the front wheels are still the ones that were on it when I got it. So I'm gonna just run these tires till they're done. Yes, that'd be cool, Joe. I appreciate that, buddy. I do need a pipe now. This one will be the prime candidate for that pipe when you send it to me. So anyway, I figured it'd be a good time today I got to put a receiver in it. I got to put a battery in it, and I got to see if it's going to run. And like I said, it's a whole guessing game. I don't know if it's going to run or not. And now that I put it all back together, we'll see. What's 529, Harold? Sorry, I missed that, buddy. You have a Losi pipe for sale? Oh. What's the Losi pipe off of? Yeah, and then I do like the radio trays on these Hyper 7s. They're very nice. Oh, that's the other thing I ordered was a new radio tray. Because for whatever reason, the meathead I got this from decided to hack the whole back end of this radio tray out. I don't know why. And the same thing as the front here. He cut this big groove in it. So it's a fucking train wreck. So anyway, I got a new radio tray coming because this or a battery box because this one's a bit jacked up. So it'll do for now for testing purposes, but it definitely needs a new one. The short one is steering. I believe these Radio Link ones are backwards to what you think. I think one is throttle. It's backwards to normal. There we go. I stole the radio gear out of the old Franken Truggy there for now because I got to order another receiver. That's what happens when you get 55 of these things. Kind of run out of receivers eventually. Thanks, Compass. I appreciate that, buddy. I do like my 1/8 scale buggies. They're my favorite. For sure. Lots of guys are big Savage people. I like the Savages, don't get me wrong. Mind you, my one last week on my last live was a little testing, but I do like the Savages. They just don't cooperate with me as good as if I had to pick a monster truck, it would be the MGT, to be honest with you. I know that's kind of sacrilegious and some guys would be like telling me to shush, but it's plugged. Tuck it back for now. No, I did get that backwards. Season's best weather for now. I wish it was better weather here, Compass. It's not. It's pretty shitty here, and it's really wet right now here because it's right now we're about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius, and the snow is melting like crazy. Which not fast enough for me, mind you. I could go for spring, but it is what it is. Better check that out. Yeah, so it's got all new servos and everything in it now. Because obviously didn't have any servos in it because it was a roller. I I hesitate to even call it a roller, really. It was a more of a complete fucking basket case. But like I said, I can't, I don't like to see a nitro kind of go to waste and not get the love to put it back together, especially ones that are rare. Now, and I know this is probably not as rare in certain parts of the world, but over here they're not very common. Steering's backwards. But I do need to readjust my steering trim, as well as my throttle pin. But my steering trim is off by a mile. When I put the servo in, I zeroed it, but it was causing me some grief, so that was my bad. Isn't it always wet there, Joe? Thanks, Compass. I did some work on the old display over there. I'm sure you guys can see the lights and everything. I got it all lit up now. All right. We got radio. We got steering. Let's see. Now, the only question I have is, hopefully the starter wheel will reach that flywheel. Because I ended up having to use a Techno clutch and Truggy, Offna Truggy mounts. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it's something that reaches or not. Hopefully. And then John, you let me know whenever you get where you're going. We'll look at the box that I'm going to send you. What the fuck is it? Oh yeah. Like I said, I don't even know if this is gonna actually reach the starter wheel or not. I have not tested it. Oh, yeah, it's gonna reach. Surprisingly enough. We shall see. Now that's colder than shit, so I better warm that up. I don't think I should run high test in this all aluminum engine. I think we'll run some basher fuel for the first time. A little bit of 2016 with this thing being an aluminum sleeved engine. Oh, it took it. Yeah, the green wing is kind of weird. I'm sure it had a green body at some point. Somebody painted this on. I'm tempted to take some thinner to it and remove it. I do have another wing for it. If I want to change it, I've got a nice black wing, which would be a little bit different. It's a little more profiled. This is a Techno wing. But I figure I'll run this wing till I wreck it. I'll be curious to see how this engine runs, because I know when I talked to the Bug 404 about this engine, he's saying that they sound really weird because of the aluminum sleeve in them. So it'll be interesting to see for sure. But I will back that high-speed needle out some, because I don't really like how far in that is. Like I said, I have no idea how long this engine sat in a box for before I got it. I pulled it apart, cleaned it out inside, and it'll be an interesting one for sure. Got a brand new clutch in it, brand new bell. All the diffs have been serviced. I haven't done the shocks yet, so they need to be done. It's just kind of been gone through. I had to make all the linkage because that was all messed up and missing. So, this thing is cold. What do you guys figure? You think it's going to start? I've got a bunch of Biddy design wings and stuff behind me as well, so I could go with multiple wings, but I figure I'll leave this one on because it is the Offman one, the Hobeo one, and I'll leave it on till I trash it. See what happens. It's still taking a while to warm up. All right, John, give me a few minutes there. We'll see if this thing fires up, and then we'll review your box. Make sure I'm not forgetting something before I send that off. That should be good. All right. Sounds good. Blowage. That's surprising. I was expecting that. Turn some fans on. Hold on. Sounds pretty solid. That old XP fuel smells good. It's actually castor oil, a Klotz fuel. Can't buy it anymore. No 8 temp. A little warmer first before we give her the bean. I do like how all the adjustments are on this one side. Like your low speed's right there, your high speed's right there, and your idle's right there. It's really convenient. You don't have to jump back and forth. Maybe a little rich on the high. Where are you now? Almost. These pieces. Uh-oh. My card fell apart. My one knock come out of the card. Oh good, the other one stayed. Woo. That's scary. Pliers. Got fat finger syndrome. There we go. Good thing I saw that before I kept going. I love the Italians and flat blade screws. Hey, two. Thanks for coming, buddy. There's my car falling apart. Kind of embarrassing. No damage. No harm, no foul. There. At least I caught that. I didn't spit it somewhere weird. Never find it. Lean that low speed a little bit. Low speed, I think it wants more fuel or less fuel. I did richen it up a ton when I got it. I love this part of it. When you get them after they sat for so long, you never know what you get. Don't like that sound. Chewbacca. okay. That's why I wanted to do it live. It's idle that's getting me. Doesn't want to come back down to idle. I got an O-ring that's bad on that. On the up just a bit. Sure seems like that low speed is too rich. Something hooey's going on there. I must have a bad O-ring in it. One of these orifices. It's just leaning out on its own. That's interesting. Turn this in a bunch. Oh, I wonder if my glow plug died. And that's why I'm fucking with this thing. This is the original glow plug. Before I get too carried away, I probably should check that. Christ only knows how old this glow plug is. It don't look very good. Put a nice OS plug in. It's a turbo plug actually. I got a feeling that plug's no good. Which would make sense, because it just was running fine and then all of a sudden it went for a crap. You watch now, tune's way out now. That's rich. That's close. There we go. High speed, yeah, low speed is still too rich. Okay, I shut her down again. More parts fell off. My throttle fell apart, which I'm not surprised at. I've had that happen on a Pico before. Huh. I gotta let it cool down in here. Clear out for a minute anyway. But yeah, this has the same similar throttle rod in it that a Pico has. And it spun itself out. The little set screw in there came out. No biggie. I got more. Christ only knows where that went. It's probably inside my starter box somewhere. Hopefully I've got one small enough. You see one in there, I can grab it. Like I said, everything I got from this gentleman was a little messed up. So the fact that sometimes things like this are happening is not very surprising. There. There. That's fixed. Yeah, there's tons of oil coming out of it. It's all over me. It's all over the table. So we're looking good that way. See my throttle gap is still a little small. So we're doing alright. Try that again. Nice to run the rest of this tank out. For testing purposes anyway. Like I said, it's probably been over a decade since fuel was run through this thing. So I anticipate it being a bit of a bitch. Really low. The clutch is sprung incredibly low, which is super surprising. This is a brand new clutch. Chico's can be a crank that way. That told me that low speed is going to be zero. I told it was Molly and it stabilized. So I got an air leak on that low speed. Out of fuel. Perfect. I let that cool off. Then now I know I gotta reseal that low speed needle. The high speed pretty decent, but the low speed, when I filled the end of it full of moly, it stabilized the tune. So there's gotta be bad O-rings in that low speed, which is not really surprising, really. Like this. I don't have it on off switch in here yet. Which I'll get later. I want to buy one of those fail-safe ones for this thing. That's what I got in my other two. It's off. There. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Considering, I mean, it was a little bit of tune issues, but and there was a few things that fell apart, but nothing dramatic. But that's why we test run them. Put that over there and let it cool off. Ooh, I better plug that charger in. Kill my phone. All right. Now once this air clears out, I'll turn the fan off. Whew. That's cool. I'm pretty happy with that though. Steering and everything else look good. The rest of it seems to function not too bad. So I'll just do a little bit of tweaking there on that low speed, and I'll get her dialed right in. I wonder if that glow plug is actually bad. Where did it go? Probably fell on the floor. Hold up. It'll be here somewhere. I think I can turn that fan off now. All right, John, you still on there? Oh, there's that glow plug. Oh no, that glow plug's okay. I'll save that. All right, there you are. So, this is the little box I started out for you so far. So, I got you another Sen air filter. Transmission for the 7.7. The HPR 4.6. This is the Force one. The one that we did the piston on not that long ago. And then this is that Kingstar 4.6 that I told you needs the backplate replaced. The rest of the engine is good. The backplate is completely bagged out. Needs to be replaced. And then the other thing that I wanted to run by you. So you said you have a MBX. Is it an MBX 7 T? Throw some kibble in there. Believe me, I have a Mastiff. I have more than enough kibble. Let's eat this piece of fuel line. Huh? You have the MBX you have, is it a 7 T, right? I think it's an 8T. Oh, well, I'll grab the battery. Oh, okay. So the MBX 7. So I got this box of parts from a guy. So this is axles for an MBX 7 RE universal joint. So that, if it's a 7, that's a 6. These are control arms for a 7. And these are control arms for a 7. And what else is in here for a 7? I think these knuckles are for a Mugen as well. But I got... That's what the body says, but you don't think so. Well, if you can find out in the next bit, when you're sitting down having a relaxing beverage in the evening, let me know, because I got this little box of parts, and I don't have that truggy, so that doesn't do me any good, and they don't weigh shit. So, and then this is all RC8 stuff, which I have. Put that in. But yeah, let me know if that works, then I'll cram the rest of these little bits in this box. And was there any other 7.7 parts you needed, like, soon, that I need to put in here until we figure out how to do the deal on that other 7.7? Yeah, we can do that, John. We'll do a video call sometime over the holidays, and then we can compare the bits. And with just take a caliper and then we'll go through it and see what's the same and what's not. If that works. All right, Joey, thank you for coming, buddy. I'll let you know how I make out with the rest of that hyper after I get it tuned in there. Hot by that furnace. Woo! Yeah, I'll put this over here now. I just kind of wanted to go over that with you, John, just to make sure that that's what you needed. You don't think there's anything else? But yeah, let me know if there's any other sand parts before I send that package off. But we got a little bit of time yet. Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Joey. I gotta work tomorrow and Tuesday, but hoping it's gonna be pretty slack. But I gotta work tomorrow and Tuesday, and then I'm off for the holidays. There's that set screw. That is lost. I thought it was a piece of gravel, but that's the fucking set screw I just lost. I wonder what the O-rings look like in that carburetor. You guys want to do that? Yeah, I know. Seems like I'm always on holidays. But I'm surprised with this though. There was no leaks. Like there was no fuel leaks. Even my exhaust. I made this spring out of 2 springs and weaved them together, so it's a little bit weird. But let's see what this. It's good to see if this is possible to reseal this. Hopefully, it's not some fucking weird Italian O-rings. They look like they're hard as a rock, I'll tell you that much. You think it needs more ramp? You gotta love Pico carburetors. Oop, that so hard it just shattered. That O-ring. That one looks right. Where's my molly supposed to go? Yeah, I guess A2, I probably should have done that before because I knew the set for a long time. I also knew the guy that this came from. So I should have just done that in the first place. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't. That's better. That should make a big difference. That O-ring was hard as a rock. It just broke when I went to take it out. Yeah, you can break it into pieces. What I'd like to do for my Christmas season is take these all down one at a time and clean them, each one. Like give it a good clean, start to finish. I wonder if I should see what the O-ring looks like on that high speed. It feels good though. I don't think I'll touch that one. Yeah, that one's good. You're working all but Wednesday. That sucks, A2 or Lotus. Yeah, no, I had at least generic O-rings fit. The only one that I ever have a hard time trying to reseal these needles in is the MGT carburetors. The Thunder Tiger carburetors are just that little bit different than everything else. I thought I showed that to you, Lotus, did I not? I had it down last week, or not last week, week before last, but we actually ran it on the stand. Oh, you missed it. You want to see it? I can grab it. I can grab it if you want to see it. I'll go grab it. These things, like I said, they're pretty cool. I don't have much of a place around here to actually drive this thing because it's so fucking fast, and it gets the speed so fast that it's a bear to drive around here. This is her. I threw radio gear in it last week, just for shits and giggles for the live, just because I hadn't for a while. But that's her with the 3-speed transmission. It is 4-wheel drive. It has the original Pico 8-port on-road engine with the matching Pico pipe. It is a nitrogen charged shocks, all aluminum control arms. That's stock. It is quite the beast. You know, this thing is scarce as scarce can be. You don't get any more scarce than this thing. They made from the research I've done, they made 2,500 of these things for the world, not just Western, the Western areas and everything else, or Western world. Most of them were in Europe, so they're very hard to find parts for. Like you think some of the other RC stuff is hard to find parts for. This thing is next level. I found tires for it. It needs tires. I made these out of yoga blocks. The tires that it needs are in fucking Portugal. So I actually thought about trying these and see how well they'll hold up, but I'm scared too. They're not glued on. They're just stuffed on there, right? Exactly, Lotus. It makes it very hard to run it. So I'm scared to. When I did have it out the last time, I accidentally piled it into a curb, and it didn't break, thank Christ. But it's very fast and it's really hard to hang on to. This is 1993 is this thing. It's and this was the RAR Nationals. It was never made for consumer market. It was only ever made for the race circuit. So they're not regular hobby grade available units. When I put it for sale a while ago, I had some dude in Sweden that wanted it, that offered me a crazy amount of money for it, and then I chickened out and didn't sell it because it is rare, and if I sold it, I made my poor wife drive 12 hours to go, or 6 hours one way to go get it. So if I sold it, she'd probably hang me. Oh man, I shit you not, this is an 80 miles per hour RC car. Like, it's just nuts. It doesn't even hit second gear till probably 40, 50 miles an hour. And then you won't even hear third gear hit. It's just crazy. You run out of road. Yeah, so it's definitely, you know, I don't have many Shelf Queens, but this is definitely, sorry, I don't have any Shelf Queens, let me rephrase that. This is the only Shelf Queen that I actually have, only because I'm scared to run it. I'm scared to wreck it. It's kind of a crown jewel. I actually think that I might make a shelf in the house, and this might end up coming in the house and going in the cabinet in there. You know, just because it's a super pretty kit. The fellow that I got it from in Edmonton did the body. He actually had to find the body in Europe for it, because he bought it and it didn't have the body. So he painted the body, did a great job. But yeah. I would actually kind of like to find the original like twin stick Futaba period correct radio gear for it, because that would be period correct for that car. I had one, but it just sat so long that all the batteries had leaked, and by the time I got it, I tried to fix it and it was just junk. But one of the servos that are in it are still the original Futaba big plug servos. That's what I was thinking, Compass, is that I got a couple of really nice, like almost like China cabinets in the house, and I was thinking that thing would look really cool, kind of set up on a bit of an angle in the China cabinet. Yeah, I do. Like I said, I take it down once a year to just kind of run it and you know, check it over, because I don't like to leave engines sit for long periods of time, because the same thing happens, like that happens to this thing. All the seals dry out, everything gets all messed up. So I like to keep everything going, keep it alive, you know. It's not the best one though. What's the best one, Lotus? Oh, you got a 90s two-stick Futaba. That's cool. What I'd like to see is if I could find a digital one that looks like a vintage one. And I did some digging, and they do make them. They look like a vintage radio, but they're actually a digital radio, so you don't have the junk of the old, you know, the old stuff. So oh, the one you have is not the most high dollar. Yeah, I want to see like the old school Futaba ones, like the old Magnum Junior and Magnum Senior. They were they looked like a chrome, almost like a chrome or brushed aluminum or whatever, and they were really cool because they, you know, they had some weight to them. They were more the Airtronics type kind of stuff. Right on, Compass. That's cool. I like to display them. Mind you, I have a pretty nice display out here. This is kind of a nice place to sit. I even come up here sometimes just to admire my collection and just hang out and have a beer and stare at it, you know. But like now that I got all the lights and everything working in the display, you know, here I'll just lift you guys up a bit. Like it's pretty cool. And then here I'll turn the lights off. See, that just looks cool now. I just like it. It's just like it's cool to sit and just admire your collection when you get to that point, you know. Yeah, almost hate to turn the lights back on. You laugh, Lotus. I thought about doing you need Dolly to move it. Thanks, Corey. Sometimes I think about, you know, you talk about the museum thing, and I thought about doing like maybe one of those teen kids club things to try and get younger people interested in the hobby. And you know, so and then even if you just had a like show and tell thing, you know. Yeah, exactly, Corey. I thought of that too. You know, build a Christmas tree right out of RC cars would be kind of cool. It's just fun. I don't know. I keep tinkering with the display, kind of making it a little more lavish each time. It's the only reason I keep buying them. I think more than anything else, just to kind of I admire them, and I try and run them all. And every time of year, certain times of year, I run more than others, obviously. But yeah, I hear you, Lotus. You know what? At this point, you know, even if kids wanted to come over and wrench on an X-Max or an E-Word one, just if you can encourage the hobby, you know, like because I remember when I started out in the '90s, I started out with an old Kyosho electric buggy, and then some of the other fellows that I was learning from had nitros, and I just made the switch, right? So it's something that you got to inspire the kids for it too, right? So you don't want to just shit on them, and so like a friend of mine came to me from work, and he's like, I want to buy an RC car for my kid for Christmas for his first one, and I was like, don't buy a Chinese one, buy a hobby grade at least, right? Because that's how people get soured on stuff, right? So, you know, and he got a one of those mini maxes just to get him into it, right? So you gotta start him somewhere, you know. Hey, Bob. Thanks for coming. We were wrenching on this Hyper 8 buggy that I picked up. We just got it. I had to reseal one of the needles in the carburetor, so we'll see if that's a little bit better. We could try and bark it up again and see if it's stabilized now that we resealed that needle. Try that, see what it does, if you guys want. Hey man, you got to get something sometime. If the kids are gonna go with it, I mean, all you can do is hope for that. Even if they start out with an electric one, that you can convert them at some point to the nitro stuff. But there is still kids out there that like this stuff. But the problem is there's a generation gap that's not teaching that other group. You know, the people that are in their late 20s and stuff that are still trying to be, you know, hot rodders and whatnot. That group of kids. And they're not so much kids, but that group of young people, we got to try and keep this stuff going just for the fact that if we don't, we'll lose more companies like Force, right? But everybody starts somewhere. I mean, you don't want to start. I mean, there's lots of kids that start out with the Walmart ones and stuff and go from there. I started there too, the Sears ones and the, you know, the Tycos and all this other crap, you know, and they were junk. I used to break them things like they were going out of style, but until you stumble across hobby grade stuff. A lot of people don't even know hobby grade stuff actually exists, believe it or not. All they know of is the stuff that you see at Canadian Tire and Walmart and shit like that. Right on, Otis. I flip-flop back and forth for a little while there, not from electric, but I did flip-flop between RC cars and stuff to planes, and in the 90s, and then I went back to RC cars, and then a large hiatus in there for a number of years, and then now I'm back at it again. So. Yeah, I agree, A2. I had lots of the Tyco stuff starting out. I remember I had a friend of mine that ran a little TV repair place, and he must have fixed that Tyco for me, I don't know, probably 10 times as I burned it up, you know, and we kept fixing it. So, and then eventually I made the switch and then never looked back. Radio Shack, Golden and Red Arrow. Yeah, right on. I remember those. Even Radio Shack's done now. Not even any more Radio Shack. Not even any more Source. All those places are dying out. The Radio Shack Golden. Remember you used to be able to walk into Radio Shack and they had all those like shelves and shelves of resistors and capacitors and little electrical connectors and soldering stuff and all these little, you know, things you could bring home and make like little electrical things and stuff, and they were so cool. But you can't even do that anymore. Where everything needed D batteries. Yeah, D batteries are cursed, man. Like, I don't even, it's even so hard to just find D batteries now. eBay and Amazon killed it. Yeah, pretty much. I wonder if this thing just doesn't like to run that much on that old 2016. I wonder if I should try and run it on a little bit better fuel. The other thing I was looking at is, before I try and run this again, I'm going to test that fuel tank. I agree, A2. Like, the Radio Shack used to be so invaluable for things to fix, like other things. Never mind this stuff. There's a mouthful of fucking fuel. Don't need a beer now. Tooey. Yummy. Fuel tank is good. I think we'll try this briefly, see if that made a difference. But I think we'll try it on a little bit better fuel. I do appreciate those who showed up today. I didn't think that that I would have as big a group of people here today with the everybody needs to swallow a little bit of fuel once in a while, Compass. Great. Tastes good. Keep you alive. Castor oil, keep you lubed up. Yeah. We'll see. What do you guys figure now? That's probably gonna jack my tune all up, but we'll see what happens. Thanks, Brett. I appreciate that, buddy. Oh, I better turn. I need to hook the radio gear back up. So I'm asking. Is it backwards and upside down, huh? Sure don't hook that up now. Last time I did that, I let the magic smoke out. That's the one nice thing I like about the Spectrum gear. I don't know if anybody plays with the Spectrum stuff at all, but when you turn the radio off, you don't even really need a on-off switch. It kills the receiver. Kind of nice. All right. See what that does. Round and round. Shit screwed together here eventually. I think this blow igniter might be stopped. Hey, Michael. You scribbling on a kit now. it comes down too far. I think that's got her. I'm going to call that good. Whew. I think you're right. That's ramp ready. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'll leave that tune there. It's pretty good. Definitely stabilize that idle. That clutch engages really early, which is super surprising. I'm hoping kind of as that wears in a bit, it won't quite grab as soon. It's pretty decent. I'm quite impressed though. For something that the chassis was super fucking tacoed and they had to make engine mounts out of, it actually turned out not too bad. Seems to start nice now. I'm gonna try and start it. One's happy now. take that out. And, rip that. Definitely gonna have to wash this sweater tonight. Woo! Yeah. What do you guys think of that? You think that engine's a keeper, or should I swap it with something else later? I think it'll be good for this. Dialed in. I think it needs some fuel run through it to actually get it dialed in correctly. Come on, dude. Like I said, that's an AAN engine, so it's a little bit weird to tune. That's the one with the all aluminum sleeve in it. So it's a little bit different, for sure. You guys being good on there? I haven't been paying attention. Well, hey, Travis. I will, I have to tidy this radio box and shit back up a little bit nicer later, because it's a little bit messed up. Like I said, I ordered a new battery box for this, because the one that's on there, somebody saw it fit to pack holes in it everywhere. Hey Don, you got back from your walk? There. Now the only debate I have though is where to put this on my shelf. I have to make room. I have to make a home for it. Probably a good problem. Oh, you're still walking. The monster truck challenge thing, I'll leave that up to Rinks. That won't be for me next year. I'm going to do a buggy challenge, but not a monster truck challenge. Two different categories, big and small block. Yeah, like I said, I'll enter, but I'm not going to run that competition next year. That one won't be for me. And again, when I do my competition, the prize for it is already here. When I do my speed challenge for the buggy, it'll be the prize will be that Hot Bodies buggy that I had. No, it'll only be nitro buggies. I will say that. That'll be the big rule. Nitro buggies only. I'm still debating on whether I do let people do big block buggies or if I just make the rule straight up for small block, like 0.21, just to level the playing field. Oh yeah, I'm not going to do that until the spring. I'm not going to do it till the, like, obviously I'm not going to shoot my own self in the foot. Not that I want to win my own prize, but the it's still, we got 3 feet of snow here, so it would be ridiculous to do that. And no, it'll only be 1/8 buggies. I would allow a 1/10 buggy, but it has to be a buggy and it has to be a small block. No, not a small block. 0.21 and under. I always need another hot body, but you know what? The reason I'm putting that one up for grabs is you know how you have that one RC kit that hates you? That's my hot body's buggy. It has a Serio Monster 0.27 in it. It runs like a champ, but every time I run that thing, I pile it into something and I break something. It is not as tough as some of my other buggies for sure. What's wrong with the 0.21? I think 0.21 would be good. When I get there, I may make exceptions up to 0.28, 0.21. I may let that go one way or the other because there is some alpha engines and whatnot, and some of the other ones that are like 0.27, 0.26 type thing. So you don't have a 0.21 buggy. You must have a buggy though, Lotus. No. If you don't, you need to get one. You have a 0.32 buggy. Yeah, I've got 2 0.32 buggies, and it's not so much that they're fast as much as they're just torquey. I really think that I got some 0.21 buggies that are faster than my 0.32 buggies, but my 0.32 buggies will just tear the tires off. Oh, it's the engine, not the buggy. Yeah, I had a buggy with an LRP in it, and it was awesome. And then my buddy's got a Hyper 7 with an LRP 0.32 on it, and it's crazy. The only thing that I find is it generates so much heat, it melts the belly tray all the time. So I think the 0.32s and stuff are really good in the truggies, but I think they're a bit much for a buggy, like just for stability. No, Traxxas doesn't make a nitro buggy, not to my knowledge. And now that they look like they're making an electric buggy out of the Jado platform, which sucks. That's what I heard anyway. That's disappointing if that's the case. I want to leave these tires on to burn them off, but I hate that they're so ugly. Like I said, I did order a new body. This one's been tracked quite a few times, so it's a little bit less than stellar anymore. Yeah, I like the old Jados. In my opinion, the Jado is still the best kit that Traxxas makes, like nitro kit. I still say that, you know, now that they're not going to make it anymore, that's even more disheartening, you know. Is that all you run, Michael, is Traxxas? It is a disrespect to the original Traxxas Jado, in my opinion. You know, now that Traxxas has turned it into an electric buggy and not even like a stadium truck. So it's kind of, and it's 4-wheel drive, and it's a buggy, not a stadium truck, and it's not a 2-speed, and it's just kind of it's a sin, really. The other thing I thought about doing in the spring, and I mean, you guys can voice in if you choose to, but I would love to do like a factory team race type kind of thing. So like a stock 3.3 Jado, no add-ons, just stock, and do a speed challenge and see who can get the best speed out of just something stock. So either that or like a stock Savage with the 4.6, like an X, you know, just something like that, but just a stock challenge. Not to, you can play with the gearing any way you want, but just a stock challenge. I just think that would be fun. What would you guys think of that kind of challenge? You're down for that, Lotus? Yeah, I just think that would be cool. You know, like if you level the playing field completely across the board, just said, you know, Savage 4.6 X with, has to have the 2.8 in it, and it has to be the stock engine, and you can play with the gearing however you want, and it's just a speed run challenge, just for the stock end of it. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, no OS cards, no crank mods, none of that shit. Has to be stock, like stock. Either like I was either thinking like a Jado or like I said, Savage X. Just trying to think what majority of people have, you know. Yeah, and we do the body thing and everything else, same thing. You know, the same as Rinks' rules. You know, we keep the body on, and just as like a speed challenge in stock form. Like I said, you play with the gearing however you want. That would be the only thing that I'd let go. And yeah, originally bone stock. Yeah, MZ, like that's why I said we could even do a Savage, an X, or something like that. You know, we'd have to look at it in the spring and see what the majority of people have, just so we make sure we have a good turnout, with, especially with the loyal group that shows up to my lives on a regular basis. It'd be nice to kind of stick to that group, you know. We could do other ones later, Compass, you know, like a modified thing or something like that, you know, later. But I'm thinking next year in the spring we'll do a buggy challenge and probably a stock class challenge, something like that. Just for shits and giggles. No, well, there is quite a bit of aftermarket shit Lotus on the Jado, but I don't know how much of it actually helps. I mean, well, you can do the big block mod, which, you know, then you put a big block in a Jado, and then you end up with obviously a big block Jado, but they're stupid fast because you can gear them to the moon, and then they're just craziness. But I would say people have to stick to the 3.3, just because also tuning a 3.3 with the stock carburetor is also a challenge. And it's a pain in the ass, but it's still fun. We can start with that, Compass. Yeah, the 3.3 engine, as long as you don't do the OS carburetor, you know, it is what it is. There's not a ton you can do with it other than, like I said, gearing. But I don't know, I think that'd be fun. Yeah, I got 3 reasonably stock Jados, and you know what? I don't touch them. They're super reliable. I don't know what it is, but the 3.3 in a Jado runs like a champ. I got 3 of them, and they're stock. Like I got one that's probably got 5 gallons, 6 gallons of fuel through it, and I haven't touched it other than clean it. You know, it just runs solid. You start it up, Travis. What? Start up one of the Jados? Why? Just because you want to see one run? I can't run anything outside. The weather kind of sucks here. Jado outside right now gets stuck like crazy every 2 feet. We could bench fire one. XRT2, X2 in here. Is that the buggy or the truggy? I don't think I do have, that's the buggy. You can still buy the 3.3 Jado brand new, I believe, Michael. I'll take a feel of this a little bit. Just set this over here for now. Right on, Bob, that's cool. How many cars do I have? Richard, you're asking that to me, obviously, I take it? I have, last time I counted, I think it's 53. Thought it was 55, but I think it's 53. And then the one I have the most of, I guess it would have to be team associated, and it would have to be the MGT, because I have definitely the most amount of MGTs. They're kind of all over in that corner to the left. Yeah, you can still get to, when I looked at the Traxxas website, you can still get the Jado 3.3. You can still get it. I just picked one random. I just picked one at random. You love buggies, Richard? I love buggies too. They're my favorite. This one is one of the only one that I have with the mid-mount battery in it. Yep, still has a battery in it. It's unplugged, which is cool, so it means it won't be dead. Yeah, this one has the mid-mount battery in it, so any of these Jados, any of you guys that run these things, if you put this mid-mount battery in here, you actually don't need the wheelie bar, because it moves the weight further forward. I agree, Travis, they're my favorite. I'll show you my buggy collection after this. I get quite a, my goal is to eventually get all the different buggies, or every manufacturer buggy that I can get, that they make. I still need to get an X-Ray and a Mayako, and I think there's some other offshore stuff. I don't have an Agama yet. Yet, I will say yet. I always add that in there. No, and I don't have an S-Works. Thank you. This one, I love it. Aftermarket servos in the Jados. They're crazy. Let's see. What are these? Oh, I put that in. I'm not gonna put a ton of fuel in here because I'm not gonna. You know, everybody goes on about the Traxxas T-Max big block, and I disagree. Who said that now? Oh, really? That's cool. You have an LRP buggy. I used to. I pulled the LRP out of it. Now it's got an SH in it, as the LRP actually went into a truggy. And it, you know what? The Hyper 7 will hold the big block all day long. T-Max big block conversion, yeah. Oh, you said it Compass. Yeah, I disagree. I think the rest of the T-Max is too weak to hold it. It's all fine and good if you do it, but then you blow everything else up. It's just everything else is fine all the time. It's just not. I mean, you look at Brett's. Like Brett's is awesome, but he has had to upgrade the supreme shit out of that thing to get it to hold together. And it's super cool and all, and it's super fun, but it breaks all the time. Like, and with the 3.3 in it and the long platform, they're pretty solid. They're pretty good rate, but I don't think that they're worth doing that to, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Everybody do whatever you choose, right? But glow plug's toast. Now that I said that they're reliable, it's going to cause me grief. You watch. Cold-blooded. I didn't even warm it up. Yeah, the Jado's the same. You know, like, they're all fine and good, but they break all the time. When they're stock, they're good. But it's just like the rest of it doesn't handle the torque. And it, like, it's not like I said, you could stick just about anything in a Savage and take it, but man, I need a decent fucking battery. The only thing I hate with the easy starts, there we go. for a minute. Second, I turned my fan off. You know what I forgot? This thing's tuned for 30% and I stuck 20% in it. See? That thing's been sitting on the shelf for months. You listen to it. There's no crank noise. There's no nothing. I bet you this one. This is my backwards piston Jado. I bought this one and it ran really horribly. And I pulled it apart and the piston was in backwards from the guy that I bought it from. It's the reason I got it for $100. But I flipped the piston around and it's run clockwork ever since. It's a little fat, but I'm not going to touch it because it's tuned for 30% for the summer. I re-glue all my tires for that same reason. First, I can get. I was wishing there was a better way to put these stupid wire on them. I always wish I did this back in there. pretty solid. Like I said. Then of course, always make sure you put that back on the bottom bed. I do anyway. These radios are actually pretty decent for cheap. For a cheap radio, they're sure a lot better than the Traxxas radios, and they're cheap. Like Canadian, I think they're like 120 bucks. You know, but which is like I don't know, $20 US. So. Still didn't get that on there with shit. There it goes. Oh, wow. The radios I use for most of my kits are these Radio-Link radios. And I know that lots of people don't necessarily like these as much, but the receivers are cheap. The radio works good. It's got gyroscopic. It'll run up to 30 kits or something, I believe. I don't have any problems with them. And I can get all the receivers and stuff on Amazon. So it's a pretty good rig. I'll tell you the one I don't like is the FlySky radios. I'm not a fan. I know lots of guys like them. I just find them cumbersome to use, and pain in the ass. But I think, like I said, to each your own, right? Everybody has, radios are kind of a personal preference, really. Whew. That thing was smoky. Smoky. Feel like man, do you like Sanwa stuff? I got something to show you. You want to see something cool? Okay, I'll show you something cool. This is a piece of history. I still use this thing. This is a Sanwa. JP Racing Sanwa radio that you don't see anymore. This is an old Sanwa Airtronics when it was a joint thing. And this thing is super fucking cool. Like, you don't look at the size of this thing. And it's old AM radio, but it goes to my S3. Like, check this thing out, and it works flawlessly. But I love this old radio. It's just great. It works great. It's got all the original, like you see. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen there or not, but all the settings are all there. It works great. Yeah, I love this old radio. It came with my Thunder Tiger S3 that I found that was super mothballed, sat for a long time. That radio, my guess would be, late 90s, I believe. So, we're at the, oh man, we're over 2 hours. Wow. So I'll just quickly, let's see, that's clear. Hold on. Just turn some fans off and stuff. So Travis and them, you guys wanted to see the buggies, and then we'll probably call it a day. Did you guys want to see the buggy collection? So this is my, so this whole section over here is just buggies. So I'll start over here. So these are my, this is one of my Techno buggies. So this is the NB48 2.2 or 2.0. This is the one I got for my 50th birthday. This is the my newest one. That's the Associated B4 with the Reds 521. This one has the Novarossi buggy engine, 0.21 buggy engine. This one actually I got from the Nitro Addiction. It's a great buggy. I had some problems with it at the beginning. One of the diffs blew up right off the hop, but he sent me a new diff, and it was awesome of him to do that. So these two are those are my two newest. Well, this is my newest. That's why it's even sitting on its own stand with its own light up badge plate. It's pretty cool. And then down here, we'll start down here. That's my JQ Black buggy with the Axial 0.28 RR engine with a bump start. Great running buggy. That's my Losi 10T. That doesn't really fit in there, but this is my that's one of my Hyper 7s with the SH 0.28 P3. This one that used to have the LRP in it now has the P3, which actually is an amazing engine for the money. This is my my Thunder Tiger S3 with the Kronos, which is something you don't see. The Kronos BS5 8-port Italian engine, screams like nothing you would believe. It's just amazing. Yes, I did get the tires, John. Thank you. They're glued. They're actually right there. And then this is my, and then before I stand up and use those other ones, this is my other one that I got from the Nitro Addiction. So that has the R5R Reds with the, this is the Techno buggy, the 48 4.4. That is my Hyper 7 with the OS VG period correct, all period correct. This is a kit version Hyper 7, not the RTR. That is one I got from Joey, the SOS. This is a MBX, Kyosho MBX 5, Kyosho MBX that I actually converted to a Traxxas 3.3 in there. It had originally had a really weird KE25 Kyosho engine in it that sucked. And then, so I put this, it's got a serial pipe. I don't know if you see that or not, but it's actually got the Kyosho. It's a 1/10 scale. That thing rocks. So I had to put belted tires on it. It's so fast. And then over here, I'll start up here. Oh, I guess I got to start way up here. DBX Kyosho. Yes, that's it. This is one of my Hyper 7s with the Hyper 21 in it. This is my Offna Pirate. That is my Losi 8T, not 8T, Losi 8, just like the one John was running today, except still has the factory Dynamite engine in it. This is my MP9 with the original engine in it. This is my Serpent SRX8 with the Alpha 0.28 in it. The engine is just broke in. The weather kind of went for a crap. Only thing I ever got to do was kind of drive it around on the asphalt just briefly, but it's going to be a beast. This is my Mugen MBX8 with the Orion 0.21 in it. That thing is awesome. This is one of my Hyper 8s with the OS Speed 0.21. This is my other Hyper 8 with the OS Speed 0.21. Both of them are almost identical, except for the pipes are slightly different and some little bit different shocks and stuff. But and then this one is my Hot Bodies Lightning, that this is the one that I'll be doing the giveaway with in the spring. This is an Acme, man, I never remember that right. Acme Warrior, I had to look at the box. Acme Warrior that came from Europe. Unfortunately, I don't have the original body, so this is just an aftermarket body that I bought for it. It's actually powered by an SH 0.21 with a super tiny cooling head on it, which is really weird, but it's a great running buggy, super stout. The whole top chassis plate is very heavy duty. This is my OFNA MBX, all original, right down to the colored tires. I don't run that much. It still has the OFNA 0.26 in it. It's hard to see. It's way up there. This is my my OFNA Jammin CX, yeah, buggy with the 0.32 axial RR in it, which is a beautiful engine. That it runs like a champ. Sounds different than anything you could possibly imagine. And then up there, that's my friend's, what is it? R8B 4.1 prototype. And that's his Jado beside that. And then I guess I got a couple truggies over here. They're kind of because I had to start over here because I ran out of wall. And then that's my buggy collection, with the exception of the one that I was just working on. So, do you guys have any questions on any of the buggies? The Thunder Tiger stuff, in my opinion, is pretty top notch. Really. You need that Serpent with that Alpha in there. I tell you, is going to be amazing. Because the factory engine that came in that Serpent was awesome, and it's just a force engine. So, which one's the if I had to guess which one's the fastest, just by guessing, I'd say it's got to be that S3, because that engine probably has 10,000 RPM more than anything else that's in there, because that's an 8-port, and that thing is fast, like it's crazy. Which one's the easiest to get parts for? Probably the Associated stuff, to be honest with you. If you wanted a pro kit that's the easiest to get parts for, that's it's not a bitch to work on, it's probably the Associated stuff. The Techno stuff and everything, the Techno stuff is really cool, but it, again, can be a little bit more of a pain in the ass to get parts for. But the Associated stuff, seems like most hobby stores can get you Associated buggy parts. So, but like the Techno and the Mugen and stuff, you're getting more into the pro stuff. So it's tougher to get parts for. You got to kind of go to their Associated sites or eBay and get parts there. But if I was to advise somebody, if they wanted a pro kit and they want to kind of start out on something pro, I'd go with the Associated stuff. Manuals are really good. They're assembled really nicely, and then the Techno stuff is definitely the sturdiest built. Like it's definitely, like if you want to talk about something you're going to do something stupid with, do it with a Techno. Like it's and I'm sure John can attest to that. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. I do love the 2 Technos that I got from John. They're super awesome, and they're great fun. But I'm going to actually take this opportunity now in a good spot. I see we've been on for an hour and a half, or 2.5 hours, which is amazing. I don't generally ramble on this long. I hope everybody had a great time, and everybody has a fantastic Christmas. When is Christmas? I gotta look at a calendar. I'm gonna keep doing it on Sundays. Obviously, Christmas is through the week. There you go. I got it right. I will do a live stream on Sunday again after Christmas, so between Christmas and New Year's. So anybody that wants to join, I will be on. So same time as usual. Hopefully I'll find some more amazing crap to play with over Christmas. Everybody have a great Christmas holidays. Be safe. Have a great time. Eat lots. Drink lots. Have fun. And everybody take care. Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all for showing up.